Hello, I'm Dr. Thomas Maples, and welcome back to A Sacred Journey. Today, we're going to explore one of the most sacred undertakings I believe any man could take part of in their life: the journey to be a father. This is one of my favorite topics to explore, especially because it hits not only from a professional level of ways that I believe I've worked with fathers in various stages of their lives, as well as my career, but also at a personal level, because throughout my career, I've also had the privilege of raising two wonderful sons, and a lot of what I do know professionally has come not only from the books, but also in those experiences, the good, the bad, and even the ugly, that life affords us in this journey called fatherhood. So let us begin. I want to start today's exploration of fatherhood from a wonderful citation from Jim Valvano. He states, "My father gave me the greatest gift anyone could ever give another person. He believed in me." That quote was from Jim Valvano. For years, I put my children to sleep, especially in those times when they were afraid of the dark. During that time, I would always have a good night ritual for them. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the bedbugs bite. As time has gone by, I have either added to this good night ritual or I've taken some things out. That's the beauty of being a parent. It grows with you as you watch your children grow, and hopefully you give them a wonderful experience in that process. Although the good night, sleep tight, and don't let the bedbugs bite saying was told to me by my mother, I believe this saying is ageless and forms the evening ritual that I do use to put my children to bed. I also utilize a concept that I learned on a great radio show in being a person that gives your children blessings upon the end of the day, and maybe even exploring those aspects of what they found of interest, what they succeeded in, and what they could have done better. I believe this helps prime the mind for exploring things in our nighttime reveries, those dreams that help heal not only the body, but also the psyche for the day to come. As oftentimes they would drift into slumber, sometimes when they were younger they may fear the dark, and that was why I was there to help give them a sense of security as they learn the process of falling asleep, and maybe give them a few stories, pass on those sacred family values or those sacred myths that I find are of so much importance for a child to begin exploring heroes of their own undertaking. Maybe create the heroes that they can emulate within their own life. Maybe provide them an inkling, just a small glimpse of the things, the beauty, and even the aspects of the negatives that could come at them through life. Now, I would have them engage in this ritual to get them to bed happy, content, maybe give them a little things to ponder on upon their slumber. I also engaged in this ritual to allow myself a minute of debriefing, maybe to have a few moments of relaxation. It means to remember as a parent, as a father, why I work so hard at this one job in the first place. There's a fatherhood program present in the rituals we help to create for our children. I can't help but think what beautiful bliss there is to be found, not only in the day-to-day hustle and bustle that fatherhood provides, but also in that ability we have to enclose it, to encapsulate it, and put it to rest for a moment as we learn to go into that nighttime slumber and allow ourselves to heal. Being a father is the most important role a person will ever undertake as a man. Is it love? Yes. Is it work? Exhausting at a minimum. It is a never-ending Groundhog's Day at its maximum. However, it is the most rewarding experience one will ever undertake in the journey to find the root meaning of masculinity. No, it's not in epic heroic deeds as we may be exposed to in the myths or even in Hollywood films. No, it's those simple acts of being, caring, guiding, and sitting patiently even when things seem to go wrong that really count towards this masculine development and the role that fatherhood creates for allowing men to express and to realize their true nature. So what drives the journey of the modern day mythic father to engage in this most heroic epic of epics? Simply put, our ability to engage forms the foundation of our mythopoetic and our archetypal journey to understand and navigate our emotions in a way that creates good fruit in our everyday life. Willpower is at the helm of this construct as we learn to overcome fear, face the daimons of our shadow, and push forward to be good men, husbands, and fathers, regardless of whether we had or did not have a positive father figure in our own lives. Now, there is a psychology of being a dad. There is personal experience of being a dad, and this comes with it good and negative effects. As children, when my sons would ask me to put them to sleep, I knew that, like many children their age, they craved the closeness of having their father with them when nighttime fell. This is archetypal in nature. The night elicits inner fears regarding one's capacity to control or not control the inner and outer landscapes that directly affect and relate to personal safety. Being my children's father, I would often comply when they were younger, but at times I would find myself upset when one of them would break the rules. I would want to disengage at that time from my part of the deal. Is this wrong? Maybe. Is there a lesson, though, to be found here? Probably. However, at the time, I could not yet determine what that lesson was. On my end, I know that a child must learn about cause and effect, how to keep one's word, and learning the most essential skill that we'll ever develop as human beings, that of empathy. However, was the possible removal of myself as a safety object too harsh? I didn't know at the time. Nevertheless, the exchange got me to think about those conversations actively. My children, who were likely unconscious of the lessons I was trying to teach them at the time, found a way to always get us in relation back to an even ground. While being a parent is difficult, it is essential to remember that even the parents spoken of in myths, fairy tales, and those of world religions frequently were mediocre at best. It is the ritual of parenthood that counts. Our duty as dads is to help children make sense of their inner workings, confront their fears that may be elicited by the outside environment, and to show them ways to show their own inner firmness, fairness, and consistency that they bring to the table by living those virtues within ourselves. For our children, the ability to walk a mile in another's shoes counts, both figuratively and literally. This helps them to develop an internal sense of external mastery. In turn, it also creates self-esteem and allows them to realize they are capable of bigger things in life. Now, these were the constructs of many of myth and fairy tales, and I do believe it's our job as men, as parents, to read these stories to our children. For they do build the psychological armament children need to create the elements of their dreams, as well as to understand that the road towards those dreams may not be linear lines, but instead may be wrought with some detours and even obstacles that may get in their way. I hope you enjoyed this exploration of our ability to embrace fatherhood's mythic journey, ways that we could unleash the inner hero. I really enjoyed bringing it to you, and if you have questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to contact me on one of my social media channels. And finally, may blessings find you on your journey of parenthood. Let the ins and outs, highways and byways, always be bountiful in the lessons they teach, as you envision, chart a course, and advance confidently in the direction of your dreams. Goodbye for now, and thank you for joining me.